Hey, Basket Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc, and alongside me is Ollie DePina. And everybody knows that the Baja Men let the dogs out. We are those dogs they let out. Thank you. Thank you for joining. I don't tell Ollie about these intros that I'm doing. I've just decided I'm going to start mixing it up. So he has no idea what's coming every week. So that's been really fun to kind of work on. I have a bunch of these in my phone in my notes section, like ready to go. I went on a hot streak the other day. I'm so ready for this. Yeah. Welcome to episode 24 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. This is episode 24, the Arbok episode. Arbok, just like Ekans last week, spelled backwards is Cobra. Ekans last week spelled backwards is Snake. There's only one other Pokemon whose name spelled backwards is what the thing is, and that is Muck. And I'll let you figure out what Muck is shaped like. So, famous players to wear the number 24. Ken Griffey Jr., Kobe Bryant, Willie Mays, Moses Malone, Ricky Henderson, Miguel Cabrera, Barry Bonds when he was with Pittsburgh, and Marshawn Lynch when he was with Seattle. Famous Red Sox players to wear the number 24, Manny Ramirez, David Price, and Dwight Evans. And as we mentioned, the famous Mariner to wear the number 24, Ken Griffey Jr. Ollie, how you doing, bud? How's your week going?
I'm doing well. Little thing, I'm gonna add the current Giants on the roster with the number 24, Dane Belton. So it's football season. I'm that's kind of like one of the things I'm really excited about is Giants football. So if you couldn't tell. So Dane Belton is my guy. But I'm doing well, Kirby. It's been a chill week. I'm like cat sitting right now with Roxy. So we've been going in and out of there, and so it's just been a cool little house with like on the water, which is really nice, and just having some relaxing time. Cool like weekend watching sports and watched the Apple Cup, which was kind of interesting to see. First time the Apple Cup's ever been in September. And for those who didn't know, I went to Wazoo for like a semester, a very brief stint in Wazoo. So I like him. I'll root for him in the Apple Cup. I mean, I think a couple years ago I was rooting for UW. It's not that deep for me. But I was rooting for them this year, and Roxy was rooting for UW. She graduated from there, so it was fun, kind of like having a little banter and stuff, just so the two of us and hanging out, and yeah, it was nice getting a little break from disc golf. Changing some stuff up. I think I'm gonna keep it kind of on the low what I'm changing up, but I'm changing some big things up with my game where I'm really excited about that, and so for the future there would be some big changes to come with like kind of like my game entirely. So I'm excited for that.
Good. Awesome to hear, man. Good for you. Yeah. I had a pretty big weekend that we're gonna get into in a little bit. Yeah, just kind of getting back into the shop. Got a ton of lessons scheduled this week, which is awesome. People seem to really kind of be trying to squeeze in, some last minute lessons before the season gets a little too harsh, which is awesome. So yeah, if you're interested in the lessons, please reach out to me. Besides that, yeah, we got a quick turnaround. We're hosting the Chinnok Challenge this weekend. So that'll be 2 rounds of OG18 at Seatac, which we're going to kind of elaborate a little bit more on later. But yeah, so my week's been pretty solid overall. Ellie's back from all of her work trips and that kind of thing. It's good having her home. The cats certainly enjoy having her home for sure. So the bed's a little chaotic because I think a couple of them got comfortable sleeping on her side. So when she came back, they were like, what do we do here? And they're just kind of all over the place right now. So it's adorable, but also a little like, come on, guys, figure it out.
Trying to figure it out. I love that.
For sure. So yeah, we'll get right into the PackEx Cup and the like Odus Fall review for sure. Or review going down there. I won the PackEx Cup.
PackEx
yeah, it was cool. Honestly, like it. I don't really know much like what to say, just like thank you to so many people. It feels really cool. I worked really hard for this kind of thing. So yeah, just like thank you to like, I don't know, everybody and all that kind of thing.
Too many people to thank for real with that.
Yeah. I made like a really long Facebook post about it today just to, kind of elaborate on it. But It wasn't easy, honestly. Colin Bryant is awesome. I lost to him in a playoff last year. So I knew kind of going into that final round, I think I only had like 2 or 3 strokes ahead of him. So I knew he was coming. He was coming hard, and he was playing really good all weekend. He plays Delphi really well. And I kind of started like slow that round. I felt like I started on hole 2, so I was going to finish on hole 1. And I didn't really feel like I was scoring super well. Like I got hole 3, I got hole 5, which with like a big putt. But hole 7, I threw my shot out of bounds and I got the par there, which I felt like I was like missing a shot at that point, and I was like, damn, like I don't have shots like that to be missing. But then I birdied hole 8, which I hadn't gotten the rest of the weekend. I feel like hole 8 kind of had my number a little bit. I got hole 9, and then 10 and 11. 10, I just like missed a putt. 11, I didn't get all weekend because 11's, the hardest hole to birdie out there, I think, at least.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Um, and then that final round, I kind of just went on a good run of getting like the rest of the holes for the rest of the round. So I finished with getting holes 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and hole 1.
8 straight?
Turn around. Yeah. So that was really cool. Honestly, I didn't really feel like anything. Like I felt like my putt was fine, but the holes that I didn't figure out on rounds 1 and round 2, I feel like I figured out in round 3, and I like just threw the shots I needed to throw. So felt really good. I was really happy that I made the adjustment. Like my putt was pretty good all weekend. I did play 3 rounds straight without a bogey. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really good about that. And that was kind of my goal going into the weekend, is like, hey, like you have this 10-stroke advantage going into this. Like the worst thing that you can do is give up some of those strokes, right? So it's like, hey, like take the pars. It's okay if you don't throw the best shot in the world. Like don't run putts you don't need to be running. Like I laid up putts on hole 2 on round 1 and in round 3 because I was too far outside of the circle. And at like 40, 45 feet, and with having that OB being so close behind it, I was like, I just laid it up every time. And I would look at my card mates and they're like, smart play. And it's like, yeah, like there's no reason to take an extra stroke. There's no reason to take a bogey there. So it wasn't perfect. It wasn't clean, but it was definitely one of my better rounds that I've had in a while, which felt really nice. There was a little, not really like drama or anything like that, but like hole 1, which was for us like hole 18. I definitely had like a lot of nerves going into that hole because I knew Colin was on his final hole, which was hole 18. And I knew he was going to birdie it. I think at that point, like I would only have him by like maybe 1 or 2 strokes. So in my mind, I was like, hey, if you like bogey this, like this, is going to get really tight. And I'm not exactly sure of the scores. I was like, I have a pretty good idea, but I don't know exactly like if something like that happens. So in my mind, I was like, hey, you just need to make sure you par this. You need to make sure you kind of put it in bounds. And we get up to hole 1 and there's a backup and there's like a whole card kind of sitting there. So I go off to the side, kind of sitting by myself and kind of like look at the scores and kind of like calm myself down and kind of sat over there and kind of like gathered myself a little bit. I went and used the restroom and I came back and the other card's gone. Like the other card's like walking down the fairway. So I go over and it's my box. I go first. So they finish the hole and they go over to hole 2. And, I'm kind of like looking at the guys and I'm like, hey, should like we wait for them or like, should we just like go? And they're like, people have been going kind of all weekend, but like, if you want to wait, it's okay. And there's like kind of like a bunch of people starting to gather because it was like everybody was finishing. So they're coming up and they're like, oh, is your guys waiting? And we're like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay. So now I kind of feel more eyeballs and I'm starting to feel more pressure. And I'm like, I got to throw this like right now before anything goes. And I turn around. I'm like, hey, live on the tee. And like, there's a couple of murmurs and I was like, live on the tee. And they all kind of like look at me and I was like, all right. And then like, I heard Banks from Fairway Media still talking. I was like, Banksy. And he like looks at me. I was like, come on, man. And he's like, sorry, And I went up and just like, I literally just like turned around like, okay. And then like threw and I put it like 28 feet long of the pin. It was like, I couldn't have asked for a better shot. Really, all I was trying to do was just keep that disc going like left to right. And when it did that and then it crested over the hill and hyzered out, I was just like, that right there, like felt like I got it, And then So we're walking down the fairway, and I'm talking with this guy Emmett, who's on my card, who came in third. He had an absolutely amazing final round. He's a guy, I think he lives down in like Vancouver kind of area. Guy's awesome. So as we're walking down the fairway, he and I are kind of like chatting about it, and he's like, "Are you going to lay that putt up?" And I was like, "I think so." I was like, "I don't really like." I was like, "I think I should," like, kind of depending on where it is. I was like, "Unless I'm like really close, but I think I'm going to lay it up because like I don't know if I don't think I need that stroke necessarily." And we get up there, and I'm like 28 feet, 25 feet long of it, and I look at him, I go, "I'm going to run this," and he goes, "Okay, just like." Don't do anything stupid. And I kind of like paused and I go, I needed that. Thanks, man. And kind of like went back and I was like, I'm just going to throw it. And in my mind, I was like, just throw so like a soft and really lofty putt. And like, yeah, I just like squeaked it over the edge and kind of made it for like the final go. And like, yeah, kind of just capped the win. So
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Yeah, felt really good. I'm, like I said, just like so happy and, relieved of that kind of thing. So, I got like a month worth of like tournaments left, and then the off season starts, and it's all about working to defend the title and keep my name etched on that thing. So, yeah, Matthew Bloom Edwards, he won. He's super super good. He's the next guy that we're gonna see around all the time, just like winning a bunch of tournaments in the area. Looks like he's from Silverdale, so I mean it's not too far. He looks like he doesn't mind traveling around a good amount. So, yeah, he shot absolute fire, and he won the Otis Fall Memorial Open. So good for him, and congratulations. Ollie, you got anything to add? You got any questions or anything, bud?
I think I was really intrigued in just listening to that story. I think there was some things I was talking about, like I was thinking about, like, oh, when did you kind of start feeling the pressure? When did you kind of start like understanding the situation around you, and then you're kind of explaining how you took that time to go off and go. And I think it's so important to like take that time. And I can just think back in some of my own rounds where like I haven't taken time to like, and when I've been feeling any nerves or stress and stuff like that, and it can really bite me. So really cool
Yeah.
to hear how you did that on like the end all of like the PackEx thing. Like that's the end of the PackEx, kind of what we've been working towards for everything. So really cool to hear that. I think that was like my biggest thing, and kind of feeling the nerves out and stuff like that. But it was really cool to hear like an insight of like what that situation felt like for you and how that played out in your head and stuff. Because I didn't get to go down there, unfortunately. So really cool to hear that.
Yeah. I had a couple of like silly moments, definitely on like hole 18, which was my hole 17. I put my drive like to the fence, right? So I took my meter off the fence, and I'm like, you know, 18 feet, 16 feet, maybe, kind of in that range. And I step up to get my putt, and I really felt the nerves. Like I got real like, hey, dude, like this could be the cap. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like this could be the stroke that like keeps you over the edge and like keeps him away from you. Um, so I go up, and I had to reset like twice. I was like, hey, like calm yourself, like it's okay. And I think Tyler Strock knew like the situation kind of thing. So like everybody was real cool about being like, hey, take your time, like do what you got to do. Because I'm usually a pretty quick player, but on that putt, I definitely took longer than I needed to for like a 16, 18 footer, kind of putt kind of
Yeah.
thing, which is usually like, whatever. And I make it, and now I'm like, oh, and I'm like fist bumping and like, like chest beating, like feeling myself, like, yeah, like I was like, that could be it, and I'm like loving it. And I walk away, and Emmett, who again isn't in the PackEx, just goes, does that have something to do with the PackEx? Is that why you're so excited? And I go, yeah. He goes, cool, nice job. And he was just like, because from his perspective, he was like, dude, like, what are you so pumped about? Like a footer, like what's like, who cares, right? And I'm like, ah. So that was really funny. I was definitely feeling the pressure for sure, like in a lot of those final holes, but that one especially, where I was like, holy crap, like
Uh,
can't believe it out.
all the other PackEx events were multiple day, one round tournaments, or at least the ones I did. What was your like thoughts of the like doing two round, like, cause you did one round on Saturday and two rounds Sunday, correct?
Yeah.
How is that kind of in like doing two rounds in one day for like a championship setting? Did you anything you liked about it, anything you didn't like about it, or was it just like another round kind of being played in the day kind of feeling?
It was really I would say really interesting to have that much of a break in between. And everybody kind of handled it like a little differently. Like I heard a lot of the guys went to Buffalo Wild Wings and like, ordered like sandwiches and like watched football for like, because there was like 5 hours
Because it
in between.
was 7:30 was your first one on Sunday, and then you didn't tee off till 3:30. You teed off at 7:30, you played your round, and then didn't tee off till 3:30.
Yeah, we were done by like 10:30. So like I left there I think at like 10:40 or so because I like hung out and like made sure scores were in and like said what's up to a few people, and then I went over to Jersey Mike's and ordered a sandwich. And I brought my Switch, so I sat in the back seat and I played Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, before I got up and started like going out and like I like talked with Schrock for a little bit and I threw some putts and I kind of like moseyed around and like again, there's so many people around just kind of like doing stuff. So you see people, you end up like getting into conversations for, 15, 20 minutes here and there kind of thing. So there's just a lot of kind of like that, a lot of hanging out. But I literally like packed the car. I had pillows and I had a blanket in there where like when because I was nervous about not being there on time. So I left so early in the morning that I got there when it was still dark. So I ended up like sleeping in the back seat for like 20 minutes and I was like whatever. And then while I was like during the break, like after I ate my sandwich, like I was literally just like laying in the back seat. Like I like took off my shoes, I took off my socks and just kind of like reset and just kind of like rolled the windows down and prop myself up in the back and like relax kind of thing. So like I didn't mind it so much, but it wasn't my favorite style of layout. Like I'd rather just have that like hour and a half like quick turnaround kind of
Yeah.
thing.
We get done at this time, we're gonna do it like literally the hour after the last card got
Yeah, I definitely prefer that. But it was, I mean, I don't know, it's fine. Like I'm never, I don't know, like I'm more for people kind of trying things, and like kind of seeing like, hey, does this work out or not? And if it doesn't work out, it's fine. You can just like not do that next year. You can just not do that again, kind of thing, right? Like if it like logistically doesn't work out for whatever reason, but you never know if you don't try. So like I'm all about like logistically. Like we try new stuff with our tournaments all the time,
100%. Feel that.
Anybody for just like trying something, right? So it didn't seem like it went like bad either though. Like, like again, people are going to complain about how much time are in between, but I don't know. I didn't see any like logistical issues with that. It's actually kind of nice to be able to like warm up on the course.
Yeah.
There was like an hour of time before the other cards are done. So
that's a big thing. I always feel like that's really hard with those when it's like, I kind of want to, like, maybe I want to go throw hole 18 or I want to go throw hole 17. I want to like, maybe there's a hole I just like really haven't figured out yet. And I just want to, or like I have a couple plays on and I need to go feel like what I'm feeling today kind of thing. So I've had those feelings before that can be kind of rough, but yeah, I feel like I didn't hear anything of anyone complaining too much about it, but like, I feel like no matter what you do, there'll be some complaints somewhere. It's like you could say like, oh, we'll do an hour, and then people are like, oh, it's not enough time or something like that, So I think as long as you're trying to do stuff and you're trying to do it for the gradering and bettering of like a disc golf, I'm all like you said, I'm all for it.
Yeah. There was a funny moment. I want to say it was in between like our first and our second round, and it was after the round in between us had finished, right? So that's kind of where like all the MPO players would kind of like then go back out onto the course and start warming up. And like I said, I played hole 8 really bad. I played hole 14 really bad, like all weekend. So I was like, I want to go up to those holes and I want to like throw those holes a couple of times. So I go to hole 8 and I threw hole 8 like 3-4 times and kind of like figured out my line a little better. And I'm walking and I'm kind of like turn around. And I see a couple of guys on hole 6 that I played with earlier who didn't throw hole 6 very good. And I was like, oh, those guys are dialing that one up too. And I turn around, there's another guy putting on hole 9. And I walk up and I was like, I'm guessing this one didn't get you too good. Or you didn't play this one too good today? And he goes, nah, it was the putting that was bad. So I'm kind of figuring that out. And I'm like, that's like the trend. I was like, I think everybody's kind of going to the hole that they played worse all weekend. And they're just like playing that on repeat. And I think that made a big deal because like it allowed you to kind of figure it out and like get comfortable on that hole.
Yeah, no, totally feel that. Maybe there's some kind of like balance between having like a little bit of planned time and stuff like that. But I think for like a tournament that size, that's super cool to have and really like an awesome thing to have in a tournament that size.
Yeah, shotgun was fun. It was definitely interesting. I don't think I've ever played a shotgun start tournament out at Delphi before, so yeah, having the ability to play a couple of holes was pretty cool. So we're going to go through the winners of the Odus Fall Memorial, and then next week we'll go through the PackEx Cup winners, just to make sure that we get all that accurate, because I don't know exactly who won every division off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And
Easy.
yeah, I don't see it yet. So, all right, MPO winner was Matthew Bloom Edmonds. Dallas Garber came in second, and Emmett Kyson, Colin Bryant, and Asher Weidman came all tied for third. So congratulations to all of them. Corey Gerber-Dolan won FPO. Allison Mabut came in second, and our ECD teammates Vanessa Stephanie came in third. So congratulations to all of them. Elena Ivinsky's back. I saw her from just having her baby, so congratulations to her.
Yes.
So she looks awesome, honestly. Like, she came back, like, yeah, she looks great. Good on her. So MP40, Kyle Crabtree won over John Anderson and Bjorn Feeney. MP50, no surprise, Ming Vang, lock it down. I'll tell you, he definitely won the PackEx Cup for MP50. So yeah. MP60 was won by Steve Bell. MA1 was won by Nate Wallen. Nick Greco came in second, and our box squad member Jonathan Suyet came in third. So congratulations to him as well. MA40 was Sean Barnett. Second place was Jules Van Austin, and third place was Adam Hill. Shout out to Rob Weiderman for coming in fourth. I played a practice round with him this week, and him and Asher are just like such good people. So it was good to kind of get out with him. I really like Rob. Mm-hmm. Steve Pierce won MA50. Terry Lund won MA60. Jeremy Nguyen won MA2. Mason Carl came in second, and Aaron Zhang came in third. So congratulations to all of them. Yeah, overall good weekend. I always like playing tournaments down at Delphi. I feel like the course plays well to my game. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful property. So, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it and just put it out there, because it'll kind of force us to do it soon. But we're gonna do a video out at Delphi, like in the next like couple of weeks, where we're gonna play golf and like ball golf and disc golf combo kind of thing. So we're gonna piece that together. I want to do it before the season changes.
This is definitely, I think, a challenge. I have a good. I'm excited. We're excited. Yeah, I might say that about every challenge, but we're excited.
Yeah. Honestly though, like I'm a gamer, so like I'm definitely gonna like hit the driving range and like ahead of time and like swing the sticks a little bit and kind of get comfortable there. So yeah, we'll see what's up though. It should be fun.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to go do that too. So I'm down.
Yeah, dude, we should figure out a morning to do it. Yeah, cool. All right, and moving right along, we're gonna get into the Chinnok Challenge preview. This is hosted by Brian O'Connor and myself. From ECD. Seatac has gone through a couple of changes recently. There's some new hole positions. Personally, we were talking a little bit about this before the show, but I really like hole 12, actually. I do agree that it is a soft par 4, but I like the new position. I think it makes a lot of sense to finish at that position and then head over to like 13's tee pad. I think that makes a lot of sense instead of walking down 13's fairway for like most of the way kind of thing. So I do like that, and we're going to keep that as as where it is as a par 4 for the tournament, which I think will be great. Hole 8, we're going to move back to the regular position. I think the regular position just plays a little smoother and a little cleaner for the event. I think the new position's going to cause a backup and maybe take a little too long while people are still kind of like figuring it out kind of thing. So we're just going to move that back to the regular position. Ollie, how do you feel about those two holes and like those two changes?
I like, as the type of player I am, I like see like a hard hole and I'm like, how can I figure out a way to make this easier for me? And so the challenge of 8 comes in, and so I think it's a fun shot that I think it's going to be really hard to get a birdie on, but I think there's a couple different, like, a couple ways to attack it, to like a roller, cut roller, or forehand roller, or I was experimenting with a couple big like spike hyzering kind of shots and getting over all that like stuff on the left. kind of gets you to like a really like it's still like you're still working for like a pretty easy upshot, but like still not really like a two look, I'd say yet.
Hmm.
Um, so that one I think is tough, and until I figure out, until like I think the general, I think it's just a little tough of a position, and but I am a fan of it. And then hole 12 I am a fan of as well, but I am not a fan of it as much in the par 4 position it's in. Like, or it could be in the position it's in, but I don't like it as a par 4.
Yeah,
My
it's
thought,
tough.
yeah, my thought is if you want to keep Seatac like kind of on theme with it, like I guess it kind of works out with the certain theme of like on the par 4s, there's a certain landing area you're trying to get to and then shoot another shot where maybe that second shot's a little more of the
Yeah,
technical shot, but I don't think there's anything more technical about that second shot after the landing zone. So I think as a par 4, it doesn't really fit in. It'd be like probably the softest par 4, I'd think, on the course if it was.
agreed.
Um, but as a par 3, I think you get to the point where, yeah, you're going to see a lot of people being like, why is this a par 3? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah,
doesn't make sense. But I think
yeah,
a lot of people have like par is just it's like all relative to how it is. Like you're shooting the same number no matter what the par is. Like at the end of the day, um, so I think it's just interesting. But like for SeaTac as a theme, I'd always like to see like the challenge more and like the hard. Like I'd like to see a really hard 3 than a easier 4. But
yeah.
I don't hate the changes. I like to see it freshened up. It's interesting. It makes me think a little more, but I just think if you want to get like try to go for it on 12 and like throw like maybe like a roll like a really like roller that will bend in soon, or you just throw like a forehand. Um, I just don't think I think it's not you don't get that much more than you would than just throwing like kind of a putter or a mid on a slight turnover and getting to that like open area and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like honestly, I think I would prefer that the basket was like moved shorter than where it is, and it would just be like a really challenging par 3 that like maybe somebody gets like a long C2 or C3 like jump putt at it or something like that. And it wouldn't be that much to just like move it in. I don't even know what, like 60, 80 feet, maybe even less than that would be great. Because yeah, where it is, it's I think for a lot of the divisions it's hard to justify it as like a par 3. But it's just as a par 4, you're like, well, yeah, that's so soft now. So I don't know. I like that change. And I'm fine with hole 8's basket where it's moved to. It is a lot more challenging of a hole, and I don't mind that for sure. But yeah, like I said, for the tournament and whatnot, just for the sake of the tournament being smooth and there being no backups or as little backups as we can make, because there's always going to be a backup, like a little backup on 9 and stuff like that, right? So,
I kind of
yeah, I don't know. I think 27 is kind of the controversial one, or the one that I would see. I guess I would say that I see the most people like unanimously just kind of hate on. Um,
that's my favorite one. But I throw it. I understand why, because the road and all that stuff's there. But there's this really cool Spike Heiser line that I just was playing around with that I really like to throw. You go like you go like above the threes green basically, and it's pretty cool.
that's not okay to do. Like that's why that's not a good hole though, is because like if we have people like throwing over threes green, if we have
I mean, it's
people
like not really the
throwing
green
at
area,
the
but
parking lot, we have people throwing at one's tee pad. You know what I mean? Like those are not that's now officially like not good for the course. You know what I mean?
so do you think that like all these like do you think hole 8 should play OB right because it's like the other fairway you're gonna throw a lot of missed shots are going on the like I don't know I don't think that really makes too much sense to me. Like there's a lot of holes where you're gonna be like the holes cross each other where it's like if should we just be adding OB lines to everything then at that point?
I think the tree line on the right of that one in particular is enough of a separator, or it should be enough of a separator technically, where it's like, hey, this tree line is to define like this is this fairway, that's that fairway. Like if you throw a bad shot through the tree line that does sneak through, like it is what it is. And I feel like that there's probably more trees back in the day, anyways, because I know a lot of stuff has fallen there too. Um, I I don't think that in my mind, like that one doesn't seem nearly as bad. If the line is to go here, but you're like, no, I'm going to go over this fairway instead, to to beat this hole, I don't think that basket it makes a good hole.
Going like 2% onto a part of another hole on like the shortest backside of the green versus going onto a fairway is completely different things, I'd say.
Okay, so
I mean, if you just look at the position of the tee pad, you can't actually go over you can't even go over the basket of the three. It's just like part of the green you're going over. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like with this, like, I don't know that I think that it kind of just gets me like a little on my side where I'm like, then just what's the point in like, should we just have nets and OBs and everything, like Mando everything? Like, I don't know. It just takes away so much of the game where I'm like, if the problem was doing that, then there just shouldn't be I don't know. Then do we need like 20 feet away from each hole? Like, I don't know.
We do. No, there needs to be like, if you're going to make a course, there needs to be a certain amount of distance that you're, as a designer, you're looking at being like, okay, like, hey, if the basket's here, it's not unreasonable for shots to come screaming in here. And that's where people put their bags. That's where people are going to be standing. So now you have people maybe getting hit. You have discs hitting other people's bags and stuff like that. That's not good design. That's
like, I'm just like, every course you go to, unless it's like...
Your fun shots are great. And that's cool, man. But the fact that that's, you know, hitting cars and all that other kind of stuff, you got discs screaming in there, like, that doesn't make a good hole. It's a fun shot. If you take out all of the other stuff, it's a cool shot for sure, but it's not a good hole because of all the other factors that are in play. You don't think so?
I just think like these are public parks. Like, we're asking, like, that's asking to go and like find some crazy property that's gonna allow you to go do that. Where like a lot of these places are just on public. Like, every hole is gonna be kind of close to each other. It's a public park. Like, it's just like, I don't think it's the craziest thing to like have.
They have there to use.
But so do we take holes out or something, or like what? Like, because like every hole's next to each other. Like, if you...
No, but the basket doesn't need to be all the way back there, right? Like, if you want to make a new position for it, put it like tucked right. Put it down in the little bowl to the right of where that mound is, you know, or put it like, maybe bring it in or put it behind the tree or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, I don't think that out of all the positions is the best position. Or I guess out of all the places where you could have put it on 27, that's not my favorite.
I hear.
So, all right. Moving right along, we'll get right into fantasy football check-in. Ollie, you want to take it away?
Yes, sir. We got a decent amount of 0-2 teams. So, calling out some people, including myself. Lucas Cobrea, we got to see some better performances right now. You had a tough one, but I mean, you did lose to a 200-point scorer. I just realized we had a 200-point scorer in our league. It was a big week for him. You had Alvin Kamara scoring 43 points, Marvin Harrison scoring 27, DK Metcalf scoring 23.
Damn.
Yeah, 206 points is a lot. We are running a 2-quarterback league, but with the half PPR, it's definitely just incredible to see that. Like, the next highest scored, I think, was you with it's going to be among top of the world, Gardner Gnome is going to be at 154. So 50 plus more points than everyone else is definitely an insane look for week 2. There's a ton of injuries right now, so a couple people are getting really badly hit with the injury bug. I know I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different guys on IR now, injury reserve. Oh, so they're going to be out for 4 weeks. Which is just a bummer. I'm not too bummed about it. You know, things happen. It's just that's kind of the fun of it. I think it's going to continue to happen, and like these things where like people are guaranteed aren't so guaranteed with that. But Lucas Cobrea, you're 0-2. Luke Gent, you're 0-2, buddy. We got to step it up. Gabe Zansberg, 0-2. A lot of 0-2 teams, and under 100 points scored, Gabe, this week. We got to step that up. I'm calling you out. I'm 0-2, and I scored almost 140 points this week.
We were close. We were way close.
Kirby and I went up head-to-head, and I thought I had it in the bag. He had Kirk Cousins and Drake London. I had Devonta Smith tonight, and I had it, and then he won because of Drake London's game-winning touchdown tonight that he didn't watch. So there's no mojo or anything, so don't expect it to happen again.
No. I had no idea. Honestly, the whole day I was like, Kirk Cousins, you're such a bum. Like, I checked like 2 hours ago, and I was like hating on this guy. Pretty awesome, honestly. I'm down.
Shout out, cool. And we're gonna shout out some of the 2-0 teams. Toby, I know you. This is you're not too into fantasy football or play that much, but 2-0, great start, great showing so far. Okay, Fantasy Football Show is his name on the app, which is always a fun one. We got Kirby, you are 2-0, the Emerald Rangers. Team CL is also 2-0, and I'm on top of the world. So we got we got some guys that are kind of stinking it up. Me, Luke, Lucas Cobrea, and Gabe. We got to step it up, guys. I'm gonna stay from another 0-2 team. I do have the most points scored for an 0-2 team, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's so early on. We're like, honestly, 2 wins, 2 losses. Like, in 2 weeks, we could all be 2-2. And I don't think anybody would be like, well, I think there are a couple people would be probably surprised. But if I was 2-2 in 2 weeks, I wouldn't be totally shocked, because I feel like I kind of got a little lucky with some of my matchups. Like, I'm not exactly like the top point scorer, but I'm scoring just enough to kind of get out there. So,
well, we got 2. So all the 2-0 teams are playing against each other. So the undefeateds will be no more. So you're going to be playing Toby, which is a fun one. And then I'm on top of the world's playing Team CL, which is going to be a fun one. And then me and Gabe, 2 0-2 teams are playing each other. So after I said you had a stinky performance, we're playing each other, Gabe. So watch out for that. But early season, just injuries, looking out, trying to figure out. So it's been big on that. I say I think there's just been a lot to talk about. But I think week 3, week 4, things start settling in. We'll have more of an idea with that. But so far, so good. Shout out to those teams, 2-0.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it out there now. If anybody in the league is watching and they want to send a trade my way, I'm looking for tight ends. Oh, like I need one. So feel free to shoot that my way. We'll kind of see what's up. I'm willing to deal. I'm willing to talk. I don't know. So again, I don't know much about football. So like you're dealing with a wild card over here. I think I don't know.
What Kirby is a numbers guy. So if you have a good guy with numbers, I got tight end number 4 right now. If you want to make a trade.
See, I don't even look at that number. You don't even know the numbers I'm looking at yet. Sweet.
What numbers would you even want to be looking at?
Oh yeah,
the 4th ranked tight end.
Yeah, I don't look at that. Yeah, no, that's cool. I got my own system. I'll look at it. Send me a trade. Let me look at it. Okay. Yeah. I'm down. All right, that was cool. See, this is why I like fantasy, man. That's kind of fun, because it is kind of just a lot of just like messing around and shit talking. So yeah. All right, moving right along, we're gonna get into the L draft this week. Last week we did animals that we want to have as pets. Oh yeah, lost you. You all right, bud? There you are. Hi. Cool. So the L draft. I feel like I have an okay list. Not a great list, but okay. So, Ollie, do you want to have pick number 1, and I'll take 2 and 3?
Sure. We'll take it. With the pick number 1 for the L, I'm going to take Love.
Yeah. That was the easy number 1 for sure.
Love.
Yeah.
Love. I got a lot certified lover boy. Got a lot of love.
Yeah. No.
I think it. Katie, you don't even need to explain it.
Nah, I totally get it, man. That was.
And we hit first. I think this needs to be talked about first. Maybe number 1 pick. That's just good pick.
Like that was like the consensus number 1. Because had you not picked it, that would have been the first thing I would have picked. So that is 100% the number 1 pick. I'm going to pick, for the number 2 overall, I'm going to take live sports. Love live sports. I love it. I think it's great. Speaks for itself. It's electric, man. You go to that stadium, you get you get your drink, you get your beers, you get like your soft prep, like your popcorn, like the whole.
I was just at the OL Reign game right before doing this, and so I love live sports. I'll go to anything.
Awesome. And then I'm also gonna pick laughing. That's gonna be another one. Yeah. Kind of live, laugh, love. Kind of all kind of go hand in hand. But yeah.
I don't think Liv's getting as much.
No, Liv's not getting on this list. I don't think.
Yeah, pick not like love or laugh. I'm just saying.
It's definitely the consensus, like number 3, that trio, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. By far. I mean, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, between laugh and love, it's like
Yeah.
live. Like, yeah, if I'm laughing and loving, I'm already living. Sorry.
I'm living, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So then for my second pick, we're gonna go with I always say I'm not it. I'm blessed, but luck. You
Oh,
got to have a little luck with a lot of things. It's always
yeah.
better to be lucky than to be good with a lot of things. I
Luck
think
on
luck is amazing. I'm feeling good. 2 for 2 right now.
it.
This list is feeling good.
Honestly, L's kind of feeling like it's stacked now. Like,
I know. I'm like,
about it.
we had a couple slow at K or like there was a couple bad ones where I was like, I mean, bad until until I say it, and then
yeah.
And then I'm gonna go.
Great.
I'm gonna go with oh, just broke it, but just really broke it. My a Lego.
Oh yeah, good one.
We got Legos.
Yeah.
So I thought that was gonna be a good one. I have to redo that. That's my McLaren Lego. Not
Sick.
the whole back's off, so you got to go in the pit, get that fixed up before going back on the track. But we're gonna go with Lego. So we got love, luck, and Legos.
Yeah, no, that's a good 1, 2, 3 so far. All right, getting into some of my sillier ones because luck was also on my list. I didn't think you were gonna pick luck. I was like kind of looking forward to having that one.
Oh, I told you I got a solid list today.
Yeah, you do. No doubt. Sneaky favorite food of mine, lamb chops. That's what I'm gonna pick for number 6. Yeah. It's not really a draft until I draft some food, so lamb chops will be that. And then for number 7, my last pick. Do we want to get? I'm gonna I'm gonna go with lemonade.
Oh, okay, that's a good one,
bro.
Solid,
dude. I love lemonade, man. Pink lemonade, great lemonade, awesome. Yeah, all about.
Yeah,
hot summer day, no doubt.
While you're drinking your lemonade, I'll be in my Lamborghini. Whoa!
Hey.
That's gonna be my last L word. Going back to I just like cars. Lamborghinis are amazing. So I think it's a solid list. I didn't have too many. I think my biggest honorable mention that I was gonna put if you took all the rest of mine was gonna be the Locust from AGL. I'm a big fan of the Locust.
Yeah.
I
had lychee because I love some.
Yeah. Amazing.
A lychee mojito hits so hard, dude. LARPing because I think LARPing is pretty fun, even though I haven't really dove into myself. I think that's pretty good. That's a good one.
Oh, we should LARP. I'd be down.
Yeah, LARPing would be fun.
Hey, K.O Disc Golf Show fan meetup. We're just gonna be LARPing in the park.
Just LARPing in karaoke, dog. I had labels. I had Looney. I had
Looney's good.
I had a couple of silly ones like lace, leggy, and leggings. So I was just going through L's, being like, I'm trying to build something. I don't know,
a logger.
A logger.
A logger. Come on, that's the best. After a round, all I want, give me a lager.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought you said logger as in like a guy who's like.
Oh no, like a pilsner.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, man. Kind of deforestation is kind of.
Bro, like a logger.
You just
like cut the.
like, saw it away. Like, I don't know.
I'm feeling pretty good about this draft.
No,
this was pretty good.
I think L was stacked. Like when we look back at the drafts, I think L's gonna go as like early, or L's gonna go as one of the best.
I'm excited to see what Lucas and what Zach and what those guys gotta say, of course, like always.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they're gonna come out with something and be like, dude, we're so dumb. How did we not think of that?
All right, episode 24 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. Amazing time talking to the PackEx 2024 PackEx champion Kirby Snyder, which is always really cool to support. Really proud. Like anytime I see him, I'm like, hey, I know that guy. Hey, I got a podcast with that guy. It's a special kind of like proud. Really, really cool to see that. Excited to talk about the PackEx winners next week. Excited to do the Chinnok challenge and talk about that and hear about that. And then I got you all with a Kobe quote. To sum up what Mamba mentality is, it means to be able to constantly try to be the best version of yourself. Kobe Bryant, the late, the great, one of my favorite players of all time. This was episode 24. Appreciate y'all. Aim high, shoot low, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.